So many of the things you want in life are dependent on your ability to articulate yourself. So, dating, getting a job, making friends, all of these things are dependent on your ability to articulate yourself. And I'm not saying to use big words. That's not what I mean when I say articulate yourself. I'm saying the way to put your thoughts into words, the way to communicate, the way to persuade people, all of these things are dependent on your communication skills. So you should really focus on improving your communication skills because that'll be a huge way to improve your life, right? Like so many people, they talk about like charisma and Riz. Well, what is charisma slash Riz? I don't really use the term Riz, but what is it? Well, it's basically just being able to communicate yourself. It's basically just being able to joke around, being clever, being able to notice when you should say something. It's like all of these things are skills that are developed, and then we call it charisma. So you want to focus on developing those skills. And there are some tricks to become more articulate. One of them is what I'm doing right now. Speaking to your phone, just talking about your day, just communicating your thoughts in a way that expresses what you actually think. All of these things will help you become more articulate. But the more you speak to your phone, the more you like force yourself to come up with ideas, the more you can actually put sentences together that make sense to communicate your thoughts properly. But a lot of people can't do this. Like try and speak to your phone for a minute. You may be repeating yourself. You may be using a bunch of filler words. It may be kind of difficult at first, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And it's such a beneficial way to get better at speaking. Another thing that makes you articulate is writing, because if you're able to get your thoughts on paper, then you can organize your thoughts. And if you organize your thoughts, then you can speak more clearly because you know exactly what you're thinking. You have a more distilled version of what you're thinking. It's kind of like a funnel, right? So when you write, or even when you speak, honestly, you're kind of just like throwing everything out there, and then you can distill exactly what it is that defines what you're thinking. And that ability is something that an articulate person has. They're able to take their thoughts and then just distill it to what the actual point is, so to what is useful for the conversation, to what will be beneficial to the other person, to what's honest. So that's a really helpful skill, is writing, because you get to do that on paper, and then it's like it simplifies what you have to say. And a lot of times people do this by like talking through things. The way they think through things is that they talk through it. Well, one way you can kind of talk through something with yourself is by writing. Like that's what journaling is. And that's why I try to do it pretty consistently, because it helps me just like think about things. It helps me distill things into what I truly feel about something. And that's really beneficial in so many areas of life. Also, what will benefit your communication skills is the content you consume. And I'm not just saying this so you watch my videos, even if it's not my videos. If you're listening to podcasts, you're reading books, you're doing things that are more long form, well, then you start to think more long form. You start to be able to stay on one topic for a longer period of time. But a lot of people only watch short form content. And the problem with short form content is that your mind wanders from topic to topic. Because when you watch TikTok or Reels, like how many different videos do you think you see in an hour? Probably at least 100, right? If it's 60 minutes, each video is probably less than 30 seconds. It's like 100 videos that you're seeing if you just scroll for an hour. So 100 different topics your mind is switching in just 1 hour. Whereas reading a book, listening to a podcast, it takes multiple hours that you're on the same topic. So you're able to think more deeply about a specific topic rather than switching all of the time. Like, I feel like so many people think they have ADHD or ADD, and obviously some of these people do, but a lot of people, it's like your mind is just wandering a lot. You're just training your mind to switch topics by watching short form content so much. So it's like, make sure you're also consuming long form content, because it impacts the way you think. Like the content you consume impacts the way you think. So if this video is helpful for you, then yeah, of course, follow along, subscribe, because I'm trying to make more content like this. I've posted a video now for over 150 days in a row, and I make videos about these topics to hopefully be helpful. And I make short form content too. I make comedy skits, and it's fun to do that. But it's not necessarily going to be that helpful for you, especially if you want to become more articulate. It's more about entertainment than it is about education. But the more you consume content that's actually beneficial to you, that's more long form, well, then you start to think in a long form format. And listen, I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy to become articulate. It takes time and effort. But if you need help with that, that's what my page is for. I have a free guide showing you how to start a conversation with anyone. You can click on that in the link in the description. And listen, I'm not saying it's easy, but even though it won't be easy, I think it'll be worth it. Life's not easy, but it's worth it. Take care.